Say hi, Salem. Salem doesn't want to kiss me. Hey everybody, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel, and I promise it's going to be a short one today just because it's a tattoos and piercings vlog. This was actually requested by someone in another one of my videos. I think it was my last video. So I will put their channel name somewhere here or here, somewhere in one of these corners. But real quick, I'd like to say that one, I'm going to have to take my shirt off to show you a tattoo because it's fairly large. It's not even done yet. I've only gotten one outline of it, and I got this tattoo 2 years ago, almost 3. So I haven't even had the money to go get it touched up or colored in or anything. So bear with me that when I show you this, it is really, really faint. But anyways, I'm gonna start off with the piercings first. As you can tell, all my piercings are in my face. So the first things that I got were snake bites, and I stretched those. I went from a 20 gauge. I don't know why they pierced my lips with 20 gauge, but I went from a 20 gauge all the way down to a 16, and then I realized that because I play with it so much and I take them in and out of my lips so much, my lip is never going to heal, and there's still holes. Excuse my acne. My holes will never go away. I haven't worn my snake bites in probably about 4.5 years, maybe even longer. I'd say roughly around 5 years. Those holes aren't going anywhere, and I can even still put in a 20 gauge in there. But anyways, I took my snake bites out because I really didn't like them. They looked too guyish on me. So I took those out and I replaced it with a septum, and that was not gonna fly with my dad because I was only 16 and he could handle the snake bites but couldn't handle what he called a bull ring. What is that bull's name from the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon? Like, seriously, my dad used to, whatever his name is, I can't remember. I think it's like Bebop or something like that. My dad and my brothers used to call me that when I got my septum pierced, just because that's all they could think of when they saw it. So he made me take it out roughly within a week. And being the rebel that I was, I went and I got my Madonna pierced, and he was kind of okay with that. It wasn't too bad because it was, you know, just a little ball. And soon came a septum again when I was 18. After I got my septum again and I told my dad that I'm 18 and I'm gonna do what I want with my face. I mean, it's not the family's to share, just like my hair's not the family's to share or my skin's not the family's to share. I told him I'm gonna get all the piercings that I want, and he was pretty sure I was gonna be one of those decked out, all over 100 piercings in the face and, you know, nether regions and my nipples and shit like that. No. To some people it seems excessive, but to me, it kind of fits. So after I got my septum pierced, I quickly got my right nostril pierced, and I can say without a doubt that the nostril, out of all my piercings I've ever had, was the worst one of them all. I didn't cry, but I wanted to. I was fighting back the tears really, really hard. So after I got my nostril pierced, I went and I got my Monroe pierced, and that was just to complete the angel bites. You do not need to tell me what I don't already know about my angel bites. Yes, they sit a little low than what they should, but that was not my doing, that was my piercer's doing. Mainly because, I'm just gonna flat out say it, I have no upper lip, so I use my angel bites and my septum to fill the gap. That's really all that is. These are just placeholders to fill the gap of the lack of top lip that I have. After I completed my angel bites, I decided that I wanted to go even further and get something that I had not seen anybody in my town have at the moment. It wasn't until after I got it that I saw only 2 other people have it. And one of them was the guy who did my tattoo for my chest, which I'll talk about in a minute. And another one, she's this local wife in a band that's like rock or something like that. I don't know. But those are the only two people in the existence of this town that I know of that have a vertical labrae. I know I have heard some people talk about it, wanting to get one, and people usually refer to me when they have a question about it, and I always tell them, take it what it is. It is kind of painful, not really here at the top part, but down here, just because this is like thick layer of skin meant to protect, and then these are just soft tissue lips. So you also have to be very careful when you get a vertical labrae, because you have to kind of have it dead center to where this part would be. It has to pretty much align to your nose, and the little crease in your lip where it makes the dip, it has to be perfectly straight to that line, otherwise it's gonna look really wonky. The last piercing that I got, and I had to retire it, but I do plan on getting it done again one of these days, was I got the webbing of the underneath of my tongue done, and that's called a tongue frenulum, and I miss it so much. The only thing was I couldn't eat or talk for like 3 weeks, but it was actually a pretty cool piercing with a horseshoe jewelry in it, and that was at an 18 gauge. Every piercing except my septum is an 18 gauge, my septum is a 16 gauge. I have stretched my septum all the way to a 10 gauge and then downsized, just because I didn't like the way it looked that big on me. My face is too small for something that big. And then I have my earlobes when I was a junior in high school, and I think by the time that I started college, I had an 1.5 inches, and then I got to Christmas time same year, and it was almost at a 2, just about at it. And that following March, I had a little accident, and I mean, it wasn't of my own doing, not at all. I knew how to take care of my earlobes as best that I could. I mean, a lot of people come to me when they have questions about stretching their lobes, so I knew what I was doing, so it wasn't my fault when it happened. But if you guys have noticed, in some of my videos, you will see that I have a damaged earlobe. Again, it's not my fault. I didn't do this, I didn't stretch too fast. I've been stretching my earlobes for about 5 years now, so it took me 5 years to get to almost 2 inches. So I was wearing a steel tunnel, and somebody who will not be named came up and pretty much ripped my steel tunnel out, and they caught between the flare on the steel tunnel and their fingernail and pulled a chunk of my earlobe off with them, and I was not too happy about that. I do plan on getting it fixed when I have an actual job that has actual income. There's no way I could do it now. I definitely don't really want to get them sewn up. At the point I am at now, I could still wear up to 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4, but that's an okay size with me. I did get a lot of compliments when I had almost 2-inch lobes, and I do miss them a lot. It was for the safety of having earlobes still that I had to downsize quite a bit. So the next things are my tattoos, and the first tattoo I got is a cliche that everybody gets as their first tattoo. They gotta have it. I didn't want it. My dad made me get it. And when I say made me get it, I mean I had a completely awesome idea, and he turned it around and butt fucked it, basically. So you can get your name tattooed in cliche font for $10. Doesn't really matter how big it is, just as long, I mean it kind of does, but it's just your name in fancy font. So when I was 16, I wanted a tattoo, but I wanted the tattoo that I had drawn out, and my dad was like, no, we're gonna get you this tattoo of your name and it's only $10 and I'm gonna prove to you that tattoos hurt and you're not gonna want any more in the future. He was dead wrong. So this is the first tattoo I got, and it's just of my name. Out in the sun now just to get this to start fading, just so I can cover it up with a sleeve in the future. But do I regret the tattoo? Not really. Kind of, but not really, because it showed me that I take pleasure in getting tattoos. The next tattoo that I got, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I guess I'll just pull my shirt up and then pull my undershirt down and show you guys. This is a chest piece that I have. It goes all the way up there and same on the other side. And this is a broken pocket watch with spider webs and roses and a banner. And in the banner it has Isles and Glaciers lyrics it says, "And all the rows in the pastures church full of empty sighs and wine, and all the children have lost their way." This was a big tribute tattoo to my past and my feelings now, and then the lyrics just kind of stuck with me, dealing with my lack of faith, as Christians call it. Here we go again with metaphors. I am the broken pocket watch, okay? There are no hands on the pocket watch. It just has a slightly large crack into it. The reason being that it's broken is because how many times I've been hurt in the past. And it's just to symbolize that things can only get better if I make it better. Time is not going to heal everything. I have to put in the work pretty much 99% of the time if I want something to change or if I don't want to get hurt anymore. So that is why the pocket watch is broken. Fuck time, it's not gonna help you. It doesn't heal shit. On my left wrist, oh god, I got a razor blade cutting into my skin with little droplets of blood coming out. And that is to symbolize, I don't know if any of you guys, I highly doubt it's gonna show up on camera because I'm so white, but I do have, oh god. I do have scars. When I was 7 years old, I picked up a razor and learned what self-harm was. I had a lot of problems as a child, especially with coping with my feelings and especially my anger towards people. I was very angry as a child, and pretty much downright to the point where if I was picking with someone, especially like my siblings or something, you know, you'd play around and wrestle with your brothers or your sisters, and you know, you pretend to choke them out, and then you really start to choke them. That was me. I realized growing up that I needed a lot of fucking help that I didn't get when I was a kid. I picked up the razor blade and I just started going at it. To this day, I still struggle with it. I struggle with the temptation to want to do it. But I know I have bigger and better things out there for me than just harming myself. If you follow me on Tumblr, and you self-harm or you feel suicidal or anything, please come talk to me because I know exactly how you feel. I've been there before for so many years. So please, if you ever feel like you need to talk to somebody, please come to me. Go on my Tumblr, add me on Facebook, go on Twitter, I don't care. Just come talk to me. I am up all hours of the night and day. I will sit there and talk to you. I actually also got a diamond to prove just how tough I was, that I did not let depression and suicidal thoughts and self-harm beat me. I got both of these to represent so many things, from depression and neglect and emotional abuse, and even during my whole spin where I completely went off the map and started doing really heavy drugs. These are just to symbolize that I made it out, that I am not that person that I was anymore. I got 3 dots on the webbing of my thumb and index finger. I didn't really care about the placement of the dots. I was actually gonna get it on my finger, but I realized, you know, even though they're little tiny dots, people can still see them, and I don't really want it to affect how I get a job, just because that's still a thing in America, even though she's got like 50 fucking piercings in her face. So I just picked it in a place that I knew I could easily hide it. The first dot over here represents when I first started this whole kick of being depressed and being mopey all the time, and you know, just the neglect and abuse and all that crap. Second one was my point where I started to have suicidal thoughts, and I had those probably around the age of 12. And my last one, and I'm kind of sad that it's really tiny, didn't take ink too well. Trust me, these hurt worse than getting tattooed on a boob. These definitely hurt worse, just because it's strictly that vein there. But the last dot is to symbolize me getting clean and getting the help that I needed. But anyways, guys, that was a lot more ranty than what I want it to be. I'm going to go blast Ariana Grande's Break Free song because I have had that shit stuck in my head since I started filming this. Bye!